we will start sharp at 10 o'clock. Okay, yeah. Okay, right. So what we learned yesterday? Good. So we learned what are the temporary tables, and then after that we created temp tables and we saw the introduction for functions, right? Table variables. Okay. So in the functions, we saw how many types of functions are there? Two types. One is a first one is a system defined function. Second one is a user defined function. Then in system defined function, these functions are further divided into two types, scalar function and aggregated function. So scalar function will give us one value in the output. Aggregate function will give the aggregated value in the output. Okay, in user defined function, same we can create scalar functions or we can create table value functions. Now in the table valued functions, there are two types of, one is a inline table valued function and another is a multi-line table valued function. Okay. Yeah. So whatever the keywords that you see in this, in this blue and purple color, these are the system defined functions. Got it? Yeah. So let's see some system defined functions. So the first we will see the date time function. Okay, this is a system defined function. This is a scalar function we can say, because if I'm executing this date and time, it is giving me the one value in the output. Okay, so if I want to see the current date in my system, how can I see? I will write select get date. So get date is the system defined function that will gives us current date or the today's date. Okay, so if I executed this, then you can see what is today's date. It's 11 to 2025 and time is also given. Got it? Yeah. So this is get date is a system defined function. Now in this get date, many times we will be working with this get date function. So I'm taking some more examples so that you can understand it. Okay. So select get UT date, UTC date. UTC means universal time zone. You know that, you know. So it will give us universal time coordinated, or that is called as Greenwich Mean Time, which will give us get UTC date. So get UTC date is a function that will give us universal time coordinated, or also we call this as a Greenwich Mean Time. So if I executed this, then let us see on the Greenwich Mean Time, GMT time is 11 February 2025, and there is a 4:51. Means we are way ahead of that Greenwich Mean Time. Okay, it's morning time there. Next, suppose if I am adding +2 in my get date. So what will I get? I will get 2 days ahead of today's date. That we have seen. When we were creating employee date of birth table, that time what we did? We subtracted some days there, right? -700, -720 to get the previous back dates for the employees, right? So same here. If I am adding by 2, that means it will give me date of 2 days ahead. Okay. So if I executed this, you can see after 2 days we will be having 13 Feb 2025, and timings will be of now the execution time 10, 22, 35, 490. Okay. Next function, if I subtract it by -2, what will happen? It will give me 2 days back date, right? Yeah. So this will give me 2 days back date. Where is my mouse? Got it? 9th February 2025. Next, date add. So date add is a function that will add into the get date. So this will add 2 hours to now, because while using this get add date add function, I am giving hour format. Okay, you guys will not understand like this. Let me write this here. It will prompt it. Okay, so select, if I add date add, okay, Then I will give the bracket. If you see here, after writing date add function, it is asking me for the interval type. Suppose if I want to add hours, I will write here hour, comma. Then it is asking me increment integer, means how many hours do you want to add or subtract. If I'm adding -2, then it will subtract 2 hours from that particular given date. If I'm adding +2, that will add 2 hours, right? So if I'm adding here 2, I think num block is there, okay. 2, comma, get date is the function, and close this bracket and execute it. Then it has added 2 hours from current time. What's the current time? 10:24 a.m., right? So if you see here in the timing, it's showing us 12:24. Got it? Yeah. Same goes when I will -2. If I am writing -2 in the hours, then it will reduce 2 hours from the current time. You can see here 8:24 is showing to me. Then if I want to add a particular number of years only in the current date, then after date add, we will pass this year. Okay. So select date add year followed by how many years we want to add in current date. So I will write here get date. So get date means current date. If you want to add 2 years in a given date, then you can give date here also. You can pass date. Let me select and execute it. You can see 2 years got added here, 11/5/2027. Okay. Then I can add months also. If I want to add, I will write month. If I want to add hours, I will write hours. If I want to add year, I will write year. Okay. So write this till here. Please write and execute this syntax and observe. After that, I will come to the date add month and hours together. Can you store this in a SQL Jan database? Because I will be using that for you. Done. Okay. Let's move on. We can add month plus hours together. We can add month plus hours together. But to do that, we need to separate it by the comma. Okay. Like see here, if I want to add 2 months and 3 hours in the current date, so I will write select. Then date add is the function to add months and hours and years. So I will followed by month, comma 2. This month, comma 2 will add 2 months. Then I'm writing date add function again. And then I'm passing here hour, 3 and get date. So if I executed this, then it will add 2 months and 3 hours in my current date. Okay. So you can see in the output, it has added how many months? 2 months, 11. It became now April, and current timing is 10:29. It added 2 more hours, that is 139, 129. Got it? So this is the this is the date add function in the get date. Instead of get date, you can even pass any date that you want to add these things in the date. Okay. Next one, if I want to extract only year, if I want to extract only year, now which year is going on? 2025. Suppose we are having one whole column, and that column is having all the employees' date of birth. But suppose your company came with one scheme, health insurance scheme, and they want to divide the, premium they want to distribute amongst the employees, and they are going to decide how much the premium employee has to pay as per their age. And they want to calculate, the lump sum age, not by the date and day, just by the years. So we want to extract only years from the employee date of birth. So how we can do it? We will write select year. We are selecting only year from get date. So it will extract only the year from today's date. You can see the year for today's date is 2025. Okay. Next, if I want to see the month, I can write select month and get date. It has given me the second month. Okay. Then date part. This date part will give us the part of that date. That means if I'm writing select date part, comma day, and if I'm executing, it is giving me the day, 11th day. Okay. Now, if I want to take the hours, I will write date part followed by hours from the get date. It is giving me the hours. Now it's 10:31. So the hour is 10. Then if I want to take the minutes, then if I execute it, then 31 minutes. 10:31, the minutes are 31. If I want to extract the year, I can use this date part year also here, 2025. That means I can get year by simply using year function in the get date, or I can use date part also. Date part will give us part of that particular date. Now, how the date is formed? By years, months, hours, and minutes. So we can take like this: years, months, hours, and minute, and also we can take here date. If I want to see the month, I will write date part month. But the difference here you can see, it's giving me in a 2. Just a minute. Suppose, and here it's giving me. Right till here, then we will pass some dates, and then we will see the date difference. Okay. Execute and understand. Okay. Because there is nothing much to explain. These are the system defined functions. If you are executing, then we will understand what are the system defined functions. Okay. Screen is not visible to all. Now it's good. Just it should not touch my head. Else I need to take blessings from. So how many functions we learned? First function is a get date. By using that get date functions, how we can get the future dates and past dates. Then we learn date add function in the get date. In the date add function, we can add n number of hours, n number of years, n number of months, and also we can add n number of years, months, and hours together. Okay. Then we learn how we can extract year and month from the given date. Can we extract day here? Can we extract? Let's see. Replace this month with day. Executed 11th day. Got it? Then we'll add date part function, which will give the part of the date. Okay, in the part of the date, it can give us the year, month, day, hours, and minutes. Okay. Can we extract seconds? Let's see if we can replace this minute with seconds. Okay. And if I execute it, yes, we can get seconds. Can we get milliseconds? Replace this minute with, let me see. Yeah, you can see here. Millisecond is option, microsecond is also option, and nanosecond is also option. So even I can get the milliseconds. If I execute it, 213 milliseconds. Okay. By using date part, we can take any part of the given date. Is it done till date part? Shall I go ahead with the date difference? Okay. So date difference is the function. I don't understand the logic that why Air Force need office in the heart of the cities. They should have office the outside of the cities, right? Because they can reduce lot of accidental chances also. If suppose new pilot is getting trained, if somehow something happened, there's a huge population living in the city, right? Even these planes are going ahead of everyone. They should have headquarters in the cities, but they should not have a flying area or the training area in the city. That's my opinion. Why somebody else is recording the class? I started recording, right? I hope that my recording is not stopped. Okay, let's jump here. Next function is a date difference. Okay. So as its name indicates, date difference, why it may be used? It is used to find the difference between the two dates. So if you want to find the date difference, then how many dates we need to pass? Two difference, right? To find the difference, we need to pass two dates. So let's use date difference function. So select passing date diff. Suppose if I want to find the date difference by days, that how many days difference is there, then write day, comma, give the first date and give the last date and execute it. So you can pass any date here. Execute 6 days. Okay. Can you pass your columns? Yes, you can pass the values from the columns. Okay. If suppose there is an employee date of birth or employee joining date, and there is an employee relieving date. There are two dates column there. And if you want to know that how many years or how many months that employee served on our company, then we can find this date difference function and we can get the days or years, how many years or how many days is served in our company. Got it? Yeah. Even we can find year, we can find hour, we can find minutes. So write all these three functions and execute it. Someone's notebook is fallen down. Okay, yeah. So now when we were using this date part function, when we were using this date add function, or when we were extracting this day from my get date, that time I was getting a numeric value. If its month is a February, then in the month section I was getting 2. Got it? I was not getting a name February. Today's day is a Tuesday, right? But when I was trying to extract day here, it was giving me 11th day, but it was not giving me name of day. So if I want to get the name of day, then I'm having a function called as date name. So select date name followed by the month, get date. If I'm executing this, then I will get the name of that month. If I'm writing date part, I will get second month. If I'm writing, day by using date part, I was getting 11th day. Even when I was trying to extract day, date, and month and year, I was getting values in a number format. 11th day, second month, but I was not getting the name of that day or name of that month. So if I want to get the name of the day or name of that month, then I can simply write select date name followed by, or if you want to see the year, you will get the year. Sorry, if you want to see the day, you can pass simply here day and execute this. You will get the day here. Oh, what? Day name function is not available. Okay, we can get the day also. Let me see. This is the month. Next function, weekday is the function. Yeah. Date name, weekday. So today's day is a Tuesday. So if we wrote date name function followed by month, it will give me today's month. If I write date name function followed by weekday, it will give me today's day from the week. And shall I go ahead? So everyone understood these date system defined function. Okay. So now I will be sharing this one link. Okay. This link is consist of numerous formats of date and time. Sorry, where it took me. Yeah. So if I search by this link, there is a first option, it's coming to me. And here you can see these are the numerous format available in the SQL to get date and time in a different format. Now in India, which format we follow? We follow this third format, right? Date slash month slash year. So if you want to get the date in this format, then this is the syntax we need to follow. Select, convert, varchar, comma, get date, close, give 3. 3 will give us the date in this format, date, month, and year. Suppose if you are working on a US time zone, in the US time zone, they will write month first, then date first, then year first. So then you need to write this format. Okay. If you want, instead of slash, if you want, the dot to separate the month and date, then you can write 2 year. Okay. If you want dash in between, date, month, and year, dash, you can write 5 here. So there are many formats available for to get this date and date. So you can go through this link. I will share this module 3 notebook today itself, so that after going home you can revise properly and also visit this date format. Okay. Next, here I have taken example of date difference. Okay, how we can use it in the function. So let's see. Have you stored these employee tables and employee data birth tables? Have you stored employee table and employee data birth table? Is it stored? Okay, great. So suppose if I want to get a new column, age in years, and I want to find the age of years of the employee. Now we already have which table? Employee data birth table do we have? Select star from employee date of birth. Which one is the table? This one. Okay. And if I executed this table, then we can see, we can't see anything. Okay. Everybody may have that table, right? We had created in the module 2 or module 4, right? In which database you had stored? Master? Okay, this is the database. Okay. So this is the employee date of birth table we already stored in our database. What this employee date of birth table consists of? Employee IDs and employee date of birth. Okay. So suppose if I want to understand the current age of my employees in my company, because every company stores the average age, median age of the employees that working in their organization. So if I want to see the employee age in years, I can take this employee date of birth, right? Yeah. So select star, comma means I'm adding temporary column in that particular table. Temporary means it's not getting stored in the temp.db. Temporary means only in that query it will be available. It will not make changes in our existing table or existing database. Just for the viewing purpose, it will add that column. So select star, comma means I'm trying to add a column just for the viewing purpose here. And in this column, I'm giving the column name as a year of birth, and I'm selecting only years. You can see I'm extracting only years from which column? Employee date of birth column. From which which table? Employee date of birth table. Okay, so let me give the alias name as a EDOB here. For which table I'm giving EDOB alias name? This employee date of birth 1. Or what simply I can do if I don't want to use alias name, I will simply copy and I will simply paste it. So from employee date of birth 1 table, I am taking this employee date of birth column and I'm extracting only years and storing these years in a new column called as year of birth. Then comma, I want to see the current age of my employees, right? So I am taking one more column here as age in years, and to get the current age, I need to subtract employee ages, right? So to subtract, I am having function called as date diff. I want to get the year in years. So I'm writing here, comma, EDOB. Let me take it with this employee date of birth. The first date I'm passing here is a back dates, and then comma get date means today date. So it will take the difference between the employee date of birth that are stored in my employee date of birth table and column with get date today, and I'm storing in a age in years column. From which table? From employee table. I'm taking employee table as a EMP, and now if you see, I am taking here employee date of birth table. And if I want to store all these values in employee table also, then I can join them together. Okay. So I'm inner joining this employee table as EMP with this employee date of birth table. I'm not sure either employee table is present in your system or not. So we pass here on employee date of birth table 1, and I'm giving alias name AEMP to the employee table. Okay, so let me see the employee table is stored in our laptop or not. Select star from employee. Let me execute. Yeah, it's already stored here. So now I can execute this one, and you can see in the output what's the problem. Hmm? Yeah, because I'm trying to get the data birth from this employee DOB1 table. No? So employee DOB1 table is having EMP DOB. Okay, okay. Column name is here EMP DOB. So let me change this column name to the EMP DOB. Don't write the same syntax I'm writing because you might have stored the table by different name and columns by different name. Those who were following me till yesterday don't follow me today, okay? Then do we have the same column name? EMP ID. This employee table EMP ID. And in this employee ID, EMP ID. Okay. So you can see here, I got two more additional column. First column is a year of birth. I took it by using I took it by extracting the years from this employee date of birth table and employee date of birth column. So this is a year of birth, it got extracted. And then I wanted to take the difference between the current age and the employee age. So the current date and the employee date of birth. So I use this date diff function and I wanted to get years. So I took year. I had to pass the one date. So the one date I took it from my table and another date is a today's date. Get date as age in years. And then what I did inner join with the employee table so that you can see first I'm getting the employee table and then I'm getting the employee date of birth table. And here you can see two more columns are added, year of birth and age in years. So this is the use case of whatever the functions that we learned regarding the get date. Okay. Okay, then shall we go ahead? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Okay. Then next function, filtering by year. Now we don't have the sales data, so let it be. But you understood, right? So what I did here, I wanted to, let me take and execute here. Now, what I want to do, I want to extract only those employees detail whose employee date of birth year is greater than or is equal to 2000. Means I want the details for those employees who are born after 2000 or is equal to 2000 year. Okay. So I will select star from my table name. What's my table name here? Employee date of birth 1. This is my table name. I took it. I want to extract where year is greater than or is equal to 2000. So I think table name is EMPDOB. Okay, yeah, column name is. So if I wrote this, then you can see I got only those records whose date of birth year is greater than or is equal to 2000. Right? Am I getting any employee whose date of birth is less than 2000? No, because I given here conditional statement. Okay, so select star for my employee date of birth 1, table name, followed by where clause. I want to extract years from employee date of birth column, and I'm selecting only those records whose date of birth is greater than or is equal to 2000. Okay, is it fine? So we have seen the date functions, system defined date functions. Okay. So there are other functions also available as a system defined function. One of the type is a string functions in SQL. Okay. So after learning the system defined functions, we will, use those system defined string functions and get date functions in our example. And then we will see how we can create the user defined function. So before going to the user defined function, we need to learn the system defined functions first. Okay. Because in interview, they might ask you the questions on what are the different system defined functions and explain me few functions with examples. Okay. So it should not be in your mind while sitting in the interview. The sir has not taught us system defined functions. Okay. So already we are using those system defined functions, but we will give the more emphasis on the particular functions. Like get that function is important. So we learn today get that functions. Okay. Now SQL strings are available there. So one day we will learn SQL strings. After that, we will use that declared variable. Like we will use these functions by declaring the variable, and we will take some practical examples. Because nowadays interviews have become more dynamic. That means traditional way of taking interview has gone away. Now they are giving you situation. They are giving you one condition, and you need to understand that situation and condition, and then you need to code. And to understand the situation and code, you need to understand these functions first. Where to declare variable, whether to declare or not. Even after declaring variable, which function we need to use there. Okay? Yeah. So shall we start with the string functions today or shall we start tomorrow? At least we will see the introduction. Okay. Or let's start tomorrow then. 11 o'clock. It's already past. I'm having one more batch at 11 o'clock. So let's meet tomorrow. I hope that tomorrow we'll start at 10 o'clock sharp so that we can finish this system defined functions and we can use them in a different variable formats. Okay. Yeah. So if anybody is having any doubt, they can stay in the meeting. The rest of the students can drop off.